Her eyes have been removed.
I couldn't tell you.
This is the missing Ragnar.
You just said that before, man. Okay, well, I got another Order of the Ancients medallion that I can redeem for cool prizes and stuff. But yeah, anyway, so I have lots of other Haskap plants that I grew from seed. Like, this is far from the only one. It's not like this is my sole new variety. I have a whole batch of these hybridized ones. And if I ever want to grow more, I recently got this from one of my cousins. One of my cousins who's in BC and went on this same trip with, like, my other cousins and family, apparently brought, like, some Christmas gifts and, stuff, and, brought a thing to give me of a little bit of a binder to keep all my seeds in and stuff, and a, big guide on, like, different herbal teas and remedies and different, like, medicinal plants and stuff like that is currently on the floor back there. Seems really cool there. Yeah, like Resident Evil now, apparently. And somewhere in here, I do have more Haskap seeds. Some that, hell yeah, that I got from a coworker of mine. That are a cross between Borealis Haskaps and Yesberry Haskaps. So if I ever want to grow, like, another hybrid variety, and, like, a very different one from this hybrid variety, like, all these hybrid varieties are going to be relatively the same, because they should have, like, the same parents of, you know, Boreal Beauty and Boreal Beast. I can do something very different with that. I think I put it somewhere in this binder. I don't know. Doesn't matter. So, I now know how to grow Haskaps from seed. I now know they love the fridge. And if I ever want to grow new hybrids, I can. Wow. I don't think that I could ever cross, like, if I ever grew, like, if I ever grew the Borealis Yesberry Haskap hybrids, I don't think that they would ever be able to pollinate well with this type of hybrid. Because this type of hybrid should flower early. Because, like, the Boreal series flowers really early. And, like, the Borealis, not to get confused there, and the Yesberry series flowers a little bit later. So they might never bloom at the same time. So as fun as it would be to, like, make two different hybrid varieties and then cross them with each other for a new hybrid variety on top of that, I don't think I can do that. I don't think my hybrids are going to bloom at different times. Is the case here. Like, I would just calmly watch it get dragged down by zombies just another Saturday morning. Yeah, just regular shit in the life of a Viking assassin. So yeah, I do have the option stored away of growing more Haskaps one day if I ever feel like it. I'll probably chill out on that front for a little while. Like, my insane batch of Haskaps before is probably more than enough, but I have the option of growing a different hybrid one day if I'd like as well. Or maybe I will for fun, but I don't know where I put them. I don't know where this plant is going. I don't actually have any more space for Haskaps at my place here, or at the family's lake cabin, or at my Oma's place. Actually, I might have space at my Oma's place if I made room next to the 3 that I planted before. But there's, like, flowers in that area right now, and I don't think my Oma will want me replacing those. I don't think. So, right now, my plan for this plant is keep an eye on my other plants. If any of them didn't survive the winter and, like, don't come up in the spring, then I can replace them with this. So, if I have a slot that needs filling, like one of my hybrids didn't quite make it, or one of the Haskap plants I got in the mail, I got Aurora Haskaps and Borealis Haskaps in the mail shipped to me. So I had, like, live plants that were just, like, in these baggies. One of which died. I got 4 of these little sticks with a few leaves on them. 3 lived, 1 died. Didn't seem to quite like the shipping process there and never established all that well. And one of them got, like, cut off partway by something after I planted it. Like, I don't know if, like, a rabbit came and, like, chewed on it or something like that, or someone across, like, it was right next to the back alley, came by and, like, kicked half of it off or something. My dad and I are going to try to put a fence around it this spring so that, like, people could still get to it, but a little bit of extra work means that there's probably not going to be as much tampering there. So, one of these plants that I got from the mail, it's only about, like, yay long right now, because I had, like, this whole top section of it taken off, so hopefully it's still alive down there and can regrow and stuff, but if ones like that don't live, well, then I have the perfect substitute to plant. And if all my Haskap plants live, which would be, like, great, best case scenario, then I'll probably give this guy away to, like, someone that I know. who could use a Hascat plant, like maybe my neighbors out at the lake, because I gave them one Hascat plant last year, because I had one spare left, didn't have any more to give away, and you need 2 to, like, pollinate one another, so, hell yeah, could give them another. I told them if I don't have another spare for them later, that, like, they would have to go to a nursery and get one, and, you know, get one from this range, so that it blooms at about the same time as the one new hybrid that I gave them, and stuff, so that they could actually pollinate one another. But if I gave them this, it'd probably be able to pollinate. I don't know if it would be, like, too genetically similar to its sibling that it wouldn't be able to pollinate well, like, since they came from, you know, very same genetic parents and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know. But, yeah. So I don't know where this guy's going. I'm probably not going to struggle to find a place for him. Either I have a place for him to replace one of my current spots, or I'm really not going to struggle finding someone to give it away to, like, people like Hascat plants. So I'm sure this plant has a very long, fruitful life ahead of it. Apparently, if you take care of them, Hascat plants can live for like 30 plus years. So this guy is about a little bit under 2 years old right now, technically, if it would have sprouted late summerish 2023. And hopefully has many decades ahead of it. Will become a big, beautiful bush one day. Where? No idea. Hello? Wait, did I go to the wrong... Oh, whoops. It was not this building. Whether it's producing fruit for me or someone else. Hopefully it has a a great fruitful life ahead of it. And it's also just like really exciting to be making like my own plant varieties. Like with Hascaps, if I want to grow those from seed, it has to be a new variety just because they can't self-pollinate. But this year I do also want to start making my own tomato varieties. Which would mean that I need to get in there messing around with the flowers and making sure that I'm getting pollen from one and pollinating another one. And just like combine some of my favorite tomatoes. Kind of see if I can get the best of both worlds when it comes to some of my favorite flavors and stuff. That would be amazing. So I want to do I want to play around with a gene pool in cool ways. That's the next step that I want to take in gardening stuff. Hey, how you doing, man?
It is done.
Ah, the leech is bled out. And did you catch a name?
A nun. Name of freed us with.
What? The good sister? That can't be right. She was a saint. A healer and a... Gods. That brick fits this week's wall of shit.
It's quite the saying there. This is her leech book.
For this. Secrets of the human form. How she saved lives.
And how she ended them. It might be the ravings of a mad woman.
Not every problem has a clean solution.
True. Very true. I've built my name selling the heart fix. I'll live with it.
This was her fix. All her ideas and discoveries written here. Ill-gotten gains.
I have a mind to burn that bloody tome. Is that the right call?
Information in it might be valuable. Like, I'm not trying to be like the United States and Unit 737 right now. Or whatever it was. A little bit of a historical reference right there. For context, war crimes Japanese committed in Korea, like, absolutely testing the limits of the human body and doing, like, some downright despicable things. And after World War II, the States was like, hey, we'll pardon you scientists that were involved with that if you give us the results of that research, just so that it wasn't, like, gonzo, figuring, like, hey, the events have already occurred, that's not changing, we may as well have it, and, like, those involved were pardoned, and the States got the information, and who knows what's all in those files. But, like, if it already exists, and you don't really want people to suffer again for people to, like, seek that information, I don't know, friggin' keep it.
Cures for everything.
The United States intensifies.
It is worth keeping. We fight wars to save those we love, and pay in blood for what we win. This book, this is your good sister's battlefield, her kingdom.
You may be right. We can't return the dead to life, but their sacrifice can mean something.
Yeah.
If you need me, I'll be at St. Paul's searching for something on
That's
the compass.
exactly my thoughts there.
Thanks for all this, Broka.
I don't know what the States ever did with, like, whatever information they found out about Unit 737. But, Alright, look, I did another quest. Sweet. Quest complete, bleeding the leech. Do I get a level up? I'll leave my camera off before. Yeah, to show that. I gotta level up. Wow, look at that. I was just checking the achievements for Odyssey, and it's 80% off. The suffering is 80% off. You should buy it. You should totally get it. What the hell do I want now? Oh my god. Why is it that as a session goes on, like, the previews get faster and faster? Yeah, I think I did want that, just for, like, the extra safety. I think I am going to work that way. Is what I am going to do. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Would there have been a faster route? This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. Or this way. If I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the same. So I guess it's a... Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. But this starts making progress towards here, if I want. Yeah, this is probably good. I thought about it, just trying to see how bad it is. It's not bad, per se. It's just so much of the same. And in fact, there's a lot of things that are really, really good about it. Like, it's a really beautiful world. The combat's fun for a little while. It starts to drag on. The fact that it has, like, ship exploration and ship combat, like Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and even makes some improvements over Black Flag. Like, the fact that when you go into a boarding and you finish boarding them, you just hop right onto your ship, like, or you can stay on their ship and watch as it sinks and take that in. Whereas in Black Flag, when you finish boarding, a cutscene plays, and then you choose what to do, and then, like, after a fade through black, you're teleported back onto your ship. Like, it's a lot more fun to actually jump onto the enemy ship, do all the stuff there, and then jump back, and then sail and do the next thing. So, there's, like, a lot of really cool aspects to it, and, like, the abilities are, like, fun and, like, fun to play around with. Like, there are some really genuinely cool things to the game. The trouble is, it's just so much of the same and not, like, really feeling different throughout the game as you go through, like, just a slog. It's just too long. Like, if that really good amount of content, like, that really high-quality content was brought down into something like a Black Flag-sized adventure, I would probably like it a lot more, because there actually was a lot really good going for it. It's just, it just goes on and on and on, and more of the same. Like, it's just the exact same thing for dozens of hours over and over and over again. But that's probably why when you ask pretty much anybody that's played Odyssey about the game, they're like, you know, it was a lot of fun, I really enjoyed it, but I never think I beat it, though. Like, that's probably what the case is there. Like, at least Odyssey felt like you were doing something out in the world, as opposed to Valhalla, where it just feels like a world of missions where I'm going around making friends until the game decides I've made enough friends that I've beaten the game. Like, this literally just feels like a world of sub-stories. Go make friends. Probably didn't even play 10 hours. What, for the people saying that? Like, there are a lot of things that I would say are, like, really good about Odyssey. I think once I've played through every Assassin's Creed game on this channel, I'll probably make, like, some sort of a tier list of my favorite Assassin's Creed games. I think, like, S tier would be things like Black Flag, Brotherhood 2. A tier would maybe be things like Rogue, Unity. I changed my mind on that. That used to be, like, something that I hated, but nowadays I actually quite like. Not Day 1 Unity. Day 1 Unity is an unplayable mess. Later Unity. I don't know what the heck else I would put in A. Maybe Revelations? Maybe 1? I don't know. Maybe I'd put 1 in B. I think Odyssey I would give to be like a solid B, where it's like, hey, there's some really good stuff here, but that really good stuff just doesn't change, and you have to play for like 100+ hours to just beat the story. It's not like that's optional side content afterwards. Just beating the story with all like the DLC content is gonna be like 100+ hours. And when it never really reinvents the wheel and introduces new elements to help it feel different, it just gets so dang boring when it takes so dang long. Like, it overstays its welcome. It overstays its welcome. So much so. But I think that I would probably give Odyssey like a solid B tier. Valhalla I'm definitely not feeling as much drive with when it's just like a world of missions and go make friends. Like, even though this game has clearly made a lot of improvements over Odyssey, like, I like the changes that they made to the parry and meaning to pay attention to stamina and stuff like that.
They see me,
Like,
this will get messy.
there's some new things with the combat that engage me a little bit more. It's kind of fun to go on raids and, like, gather stuff. There's other things that are in this that are just, like, why also it's not really engaging enough to make me care. Like, building up the settlement, when over half of, like, the buildings and upgrades are just, this improves a buff that you can get when you spend money to ring the bells sometimes. Like, who cares? Give me facilities that I actually care about, and then I'll care about, like, building up my stupid village. This game just feels like a world of missions and progress that you can make, but no real overall driving force, and it just feels kind of pointless. Like, Odyssey at least had a bit more direction, but it just takes, like, forever to get to the point. Like, I feel like I'm watching One Piece when I'm playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where it's like, hey, there's some good stuff here sometimes, but man, it takes friggin' forever!
Hide my face? Not a chance. It does the people
This is
good
gonna
to
be
see
another
all
thing
in
where
our
I get
hearts.
screwed up later in
You
terms of
and
cutting
Erke
this up
found
into
the
parts.
identity of the leech.
Some holy healer. She was called Frida Swith. Had an appetite for eyes.
If this order can corrupt London's favored saint, what hope do we have?
We know yet about the arrow and recruits.
I've heard whispers. Somewhere here, a man.
Also, I was
gives
just
you a
kind of playing on
coin.
autopilot. I guess
This
I'm doing at
coin
least one more
grants you
mission
entry
tonight.
to a contest run by the arrow's men.
But this might be the last one, because it's almost 3 in the morning.
He's good at blending in. I haven't spotted him yet today.
I will sniff around. You stay back.
Eivor,
More investigation
what's your
stuff.
impression of Erke?
You suspect
You
him?
suspect him of something.
I don't know.
I don't remember whether I voiced it or
Whoever
not, but I
killed
suspected him
Trigo was a
during, like,
close
the
friend.
initial opening thingamabob to
Erke
these guys, where he
found
was
the
like,
body.
let me manage
I
the
know Erke
body.
so well, and I can't bear to think you'd do something so vile. But
Then do not. Wait for proof before you condemn your friend.
forgive me. My latest thoughts have been restless. I've been a reeve for so long, fighting for God's justice. I shed my earthly attachments for his great plans.
But you could not shed Erke and his friendship.
No. No, I'm not sure I could.
Coins? What? Was I not paying enough attention? It's good to talk.
It's good to
I don't know.
talk. Unburden your soul. Clears the mind and lifts the weight off the chest.
Yes, indeed. And thank you for listening.
I should find one of these coins soon. Will you be around?
I'll return to St. Paul's just down the road. Godspeed, Eivor.
Acquire a coin. Alright, I gotta get one of them super special collector's coins. I would bet you had a positive experience from Skyrim based on the 5 hours you played it. 10, technically. That's just how open worlds are. That massive dopamine hit at the start, and then, yeah, just so much content around and not really enough drive to, like, actually go out and do it, and, you know, not having enough direction there. Also, open worlds be, like, autopilot as you go through the slog that is the game. Yeah, as I'm just, like, rambling while I'm playing this game on autopilot, but not really paying enough attention, because it hasn't really given me enough reason to pay attention or care. It's kind of the case. Like, that was what I really liked about playing Ghost of Tsushima recently, and that it's kind of like, I don't know if you classify it as semi-open world, and that it's like, hey, here's an open area, here's our missions. You can just, like, go to them. All of them are, like, very tied to the story. All of them have, like, an actual important reason for you doing them that contributes to the overall narrative. You can quickly do them, and you can do, like, the final boss of this area. You can do other stuff along the way if you want, but you don't really have to. Do the final boss of this area, and it unlocks the next section. So it's like you're doing these sections linearly and progressing and unlocking new areas, but each of them is, like, its own little mini kind of big area that you can explore and do stuff in if you want. Like, hell yeah, brother. But it's, so it is an open world game, but it doesn't feel like an open world game that wastes your time. Like, it'll be as long or short as you want it to, but playing through something like Assassin's Creed Odyssey or Assassin's Creed Valhalla just feels like you need to get through, like, so much fluff. Like, those are required missions. That's what the game is to progress, rather than having, like, a linear story with, like, something that's really driving me to see it through. Like Assassin's Creed 2 with Ezio's Journey of Revenge, or Assassin's Creed Black Flag with Edward trying to be a swashbuckling pirate because he he's trying to convince himself that it's all to, like, support his wife at home, when really it's just for himself and his own pride, and he needs to, like, learn to put that aside. And there's, like, character development that I care about here. But here it's just like, hey, it's a big world of missions where you go make friends. There's all these subplots of different friends that you make. And this subplot is like you're solving the mysteries that are going afoot. And then you become friends with the people here. I'm gonna forget this later. Like, if you asked me what the story was of, like, so many of the sections that I've already, like, saved, I might not even be able to tell you all of them. Like, it just kind of gets blended together into the mess of content. What the heck are these? I guess that's, like, stables and a shop or something like that. It's all just noise. It's content. And if you want a game that's just like content, then sure, if you enjoy that, then all the power to you. But I need a little bit more of a reason. I need something that I want to happen next, that, like, I can't wait to see, that drives me to do, like, the work that is playing through these missions. Like, ooh, I can't wait to see what happens next with, like, this next mission here. Like, ooh, I can't wait to see what happens when, like, Edward finally meets the assassins that he kind of killed one of their guys of, that was also kind of traitorous because he was turning over to the Templars. Like, how is this situation gonna play out? Like, building up to situations that I actually want to see play out and give me drive to see what happens. But this is just like, I'm going and making friends because something will happen after I make a bunch of friends. Like, I will admit, I'm a little bit intrigued with, like, the stuff with Sigurd, with him taking, like, this path that's, like, separate from his adopted brother here, and, like, the premonition at the beginning of the game that says we're gonna betray Sigurd. Like, I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't a bit interested in that. Like, that is a plotline that I actually am interested in seeing. Like, what's gonna happen between me and Sigurd? Are we gonna get, like, further divided? Like, what's gonna be, like, the straw that breaks the camel's back? Like, what's going to see us, like, truly turn against each other, since, you know, that's very much a Chekhov's gun at this point. But I don't know when we're gonna continue that plot line. It just seems like it'll be the kind of, what, that guy's attacking me now? It'll come up during, like, some of these friendship quests sometimes, like the, I think it was this one where that started coming up. Most of them have no involvement, and I just have to get through, like, so much unrelated fluff to eventually reach that. Like, so even though there is an aspect of this story that I am genuinely interested in, I have to play, like, so much filler content to reach it. And it's not even a quantifiable amount of filler content. If it was like, Eivor, go make friends with this place, and then we'll discuss about how you've been betraying me. Then I'd be like, ooh, I got to do, like, this mission, like, get another friend. And then I'm gonna see, like, these two kind of, like, be at each other's throats, and, like, the escalation of this conflict, or see what, like, the next step of this plotline is. That would give me a little bit of drive to continue seeing it. But no, it's just, we'll see Sigurd at whatever point the story wants me to see him. I'll play through whatever much just noise of content fluff until that eventually happens. And so because the progress towards the thing that I actually care about isn't quantifiable, is just do an unknown amount of content before you reach it, it's not enough to, like, make me care, you know? But yeah, I can have content for content's sake, but better be, you know, actually good. Like, if somebody wanted to play an open world game where they, like, get to truly step into the shoes of a Viking, and they get to, like, go around doing all these subplots of, you know, making friends, of instilling kings that are friendly to Vikings, seeing, like, some of the Norseman Englander kind of relations and some of the conflict that kind of stems from that, and just, like, kind of explore the historical setting as you play missions around open world, then this is the game for you. Like, this game could be absolutely great for people that want that. But for me that wants, like, a well-crafted, like, start-to-finish kind of adventure here, that actually feels like I'm working towards something substantial, this doesn't really do it for me. You know? Gotta take out those guys. You see nothing. So, who's the recruiter? Oh, can I just, like, kill you? So, yeah, I won't say that, like, this system is, like, nothing but bad or anything. Like, again, there could be some that this is for, that just want, like, a whole bunch of Viking and historical, a whole bunch of, like, missions around an open world where you get to, like, truly step into the shoes of a Viking and explore some, explore some historical kind of based sub-stories. Like, if that's what you want, then great. Like, I'm sure there's some people that really enjoy that. But I would like to have that while also having, like, a well-crafted start-to-finish story with, like, a plot that I care about and makes me go, like, ooh, I can't wait to see what, like, the next thing is. Like I would feel in games like Assassin's Creed 2 or 4. Or 3 to an extent, but 3 kind of fumbled the ball a little bit in some ways. You know, still doing the same thing over and over for 100 hours without the depth needed for it to work. That just does not work. Yeah. You need a little bit more depth there. Like, and you can make the argument both story-wise and gameplay-wise. Like, have story for the reason that I'm playing, and have, like, gameplay stuff for, you know, continuing to bring new things to the table. Like, of course, there's, like, the new abilities that I can play around with, so it's not like things are exactly the same gameplay-wise start to finish. You're unlocking new things as you go along, and there's lots of games that do that. Like, Ghost of Tsushima is another example. Unlocking new ghost weapons as you go along, and, you know, refining your stances so that you unlock, like, different combos and moves and stuff like that, to help keep it a little bit more fresh. But, you know, it's still largely just kind of the same thing. I feel like Ghost of Tsushima had, like, a good balance as well of introducing things that actually really change the way that you're playing the game. Like, with the different arcs, for example. There's basically 3 arcs of the game, 3 sections of the world. It's towards the end of the first arc that you get the grappling hook that allows you to, like, grapple around. You can, like, swing from things. You can reach high up ledges by grappling and then pulling yourself up. And it just makes for, like, genuinely really fun platforming. It turns it into, like, a semi-platformer game and changes the way that you traverse. And it's like, ooh, this is fun to play around with. And then it, like, keeps you engaged and further going on. In the later half of the second arc, it introduces a completely new gameplay mechanic, being the ghost stance, where it's like, if you get, like, so many kills in a row without receiving damage yourself, you can go into the ghost stance, where, you can get, like, 3 kills completely for free, essentially, where the game goes into, like, full black and white, and then as you slash, the screen flashes red, and it's like, ooh, that feels crazy. And, you know, one of those kinds of abilities that makes you really go, damn, that's cool. And now you feel, like, even further incentivized to not get hit in the game. So now you want to, like, kind of change your play style to play more carefully because you want to get, like, that ghost stance. And so maybe you were playing more aggressively before, but now you want to play, like, more stealthily because you want to have, like, that badassery tool of the ghost stance that does feel, like, genuinely good to use. So, like, of course, there's the same kind of thing of just introducing, like, more abilities along the way and, like, investing ability points and stuff like that, which, you know, Ghost of Tsushima has as well. Do you prefer playing as Ghost or Tsushima? Good question. Yeah, I don't know if I could answer that. They're both pretty good there. But, like, in addition to, like, it's always good to have, like, things that you can unlock as the game is going on, so it's not just the exact same game throughout. Like, you're unlocking new things that you can play around with. But by also including new major things at pivotal parts of the story that make you go, ooh, that's really cool and really fun, and make you, like, change how you play the game, is just really cool and fun, and I really like that about the grappling hook and the ghost stance in Ghost of Tsushima. I never really felt like I had anything like that in Odyssey, and I've yet to feel like I have anything like that in this game. Like, again, this game would feel a lot more stale if there wasn't, like, skills that I could be unlocking. Like, having this kind of progress can make a big difference, and having, like, new things that I can play around with. One complaint with this game, as opposed to Odyssey, is I can only assign, like, 4 at a time. In Odyssey, you could toggle between 2 wheels, so you could assign 4 things onto one wheel, assign 4 things onto another wheel, and then on the fly, you could press a button, and then, like, switch to the other wheel. Whereas with this game, because you can only have 4 on, it doesn't incentivize you to, like, play around with new things as much. Because, like, you may as well choose, like, what your 4 favorites are, like, without that much experimentation, or, you know, just kind of look up what are some really good things. Or, like, if you've settled on some, it'd be kind of hard to change that one. You only have 4 slots. There's not that much to play around with. So, I feel like I don't even have that same degree of the sense of discovery of like, ooh, a new ability as in Odyssey. You know, especially when the abilities that I'm getting are just random around the world. In Odyssey, you could choose like what skills you were getting. Like you could choose your skills that you're getting in something like this here. And in Ghost of Tsushima, you can choose like where you're investing your points. Whereas for these abilities, you just find them randomly around the world unless you Google their locations. So of course you could Google like a list and be like, which ones do I want? And then like go seek it out. But I kind of like having the strategy of seeing like, these are my different options. What do I want to invest in? Like, what ways do I want to change my gameplay? As opposed to, oh, I got a book that lets me do this thing now. I don't know if I really want to do that, because these things I kind of like, you know? I think if Assassin's Creed delved more into their Isu lore, it could add sanity meter, maybe in AC Hex, higher your sanity. You could do mystical move, but at cost you're hallucinating all the time. I mean, they've already played around with the idea of hallucinations with the bleeding effect, but with the idea that someone with prolonged time in the Animus is gonna, like, think that they're that person. So it'd be cool to, like, play around with something like that if they ever did a modern Assassin's Creed. But I think that ship has kind of sailed in terms of modern Assassin's Creed. They would have done that in the Desmond storyline if they were gonna do that. Like, I feel like the chance is missing now. And when it comes to the whole Isu storyline, I mean, they've kind of done that in things like the DLCs of Origins and Odyssey, and I feel like they're probably gonna do it in the DLC of this game with things like Ragnarok, where it's just like, yep, here's like these DLC sub stories that delve into like the mythical lore stuff like that of, you know, those are in here around this time period, and our excuse is gonna be Isu stuff, and you just get to like explore these Isu places. So those are essentially plot lines of Isu stuff, essentially. I don't know what embracing it more than that would look like in terms of delving into it more, and what it would be. Unless, you mean like in, say, a main storyline where it's like, say, Eivor's learning about the Isu and starting to have like hallucinations throughout the story and wonder, what does it mean? But I also feel like if they did that, like, all the intrigue would be gone. Like, when Assassin's Creed first started and we were seeing, like, the Apple of Eden and the holograms of those that came before giving messages, it was like something new and intriguing. People were like, whoa, who are they? What's going on here? What are the mysteries? Whereas nowadays, it's like, oh, we have the answers. Like, sure, we can delve into, like, more sub-stories of stuff that was going on with the Isu, but, like, who cares anymore? Because we're not really... Like, we have the main pieces of the puzzle, and now we're assembling, like, bonus sets for anyone that cares. Like, it's a lot more fun when it feels like you're collecting the pivotal pieces that help you put the picture together. Now, at this point, everyone knows, like, who the Isu are, like, where humans came from, what the pieces of Eden are, and they're just, like... They just are. They're no longer, what is this? It's just, yep, this is the way it is in Assassin's Creed, so I don't know if anyone would really care all that much anymore. It's like the bleeding effect turning the modern main character, hell yeah, brother, slowly turning into Isu folk, losing their humanity, like if someone was slowly being Isuified. Wasn't that kind of what was going on with Cassandra in Odyssey DLC, or am I losing my mind?